boys. Just
How's
switching.
it going, everybody? Welcome to the second edition of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Today on the Saturday card, we have quite a few games to go over. So we should just get started. Arizona and Rangers is the first game up. Arizona plus 240, Rangers minus 300, total of 5.5. Arizona's 4-4-1 in their last in their last 9. So they are playing better hockey now than they were most of the season. However, Rangers 7-4 in their last 11. They're 11-3-2 at home. They're also 3-0-2 in their last 5 at home against Arizona. I like the Rangers here. They are the much better team. How I looked at doing this game, though, is because the odds are what they are. I went with New York Rangers first period minus half, plus 110 for a half unit. So as long as they're leading by at least one after the first period, that bet cashes. I think Rangers will easily beat the Arizona Coyotes. However, it is Vejmelka in net, so he has played very well as of late. But against Igor Shesterkin, Shesterkin is the better goalie. Rangers are the better team. So give me Rangers first period minus a half goal, plus 110. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I like it. Like you said earlier, the Rangers are the best team. Shesterkin at home is a freaking wall. Vejmelka has been playing really well, so I'm probably going to look to take his props. I think it's over 27.5 saves on my book for Vejmelka over 27.5 for minus 110. I will definitely be on that one. I like that first period 3-way there for plus 110. I think the Rangers have finally gotten back into form. I think the Rangers are going to look to bounce back after getting slightly embarrassed at Carolina 6-3, and the Coyotes are just getting worn down. They started off this road trip really well with a win in New Jersey, but I don't see them getting a win here today. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any value. Yeah, no value on Reg, and I'm not going to sweat a puck line with Vejmelka. So I like those two bets right there, and then I will probably look to add an assist prop for the Rangers. I haven't added one yet.
Yeah, I found there wasn't really a lot of value on the Rangers props just because they're a minus 300 favorite. It's hard to get some value on that when they are such big favorites. Money Mac, what do you think, Coyotes Rangers?
The unders 4-1 in the last 5 for the Arizona Coyotes as dog, and 4-1 in the last 5 versus the East. And then looking at the Rangers, their unders running at a 6-0 pace in the last 6 of third game of 3 games in 4 nights, and under is 4-0 in the last 4 as a home favorite. So I grabbed the under 5.5 there. I don't have the line written down in front of me. Minus 130. Grab the under at. Yeah, grab the under at minus 130.
Okay. That sports guy. What do you think, Coyotes Rangers?
1 sec here. Let me find what I got. Yeah, so for me, just looking at this game, by the time I got to it, the total 5.5, the under was minus 135. I got to lean towards the under. Looking at who's in net here, obviously Vejmelka this year, on the road especially, has looked pretty good. He's got a 1.85 goals against and a 947 save percentage. I believe the total's gone under 5.5 in 7 straight for him on the road. And then on the other side, you got Shesterkin, who's obviously a Vezina caliber goalie. In my opinion, probably the front runner. He's got an 8-1-1 record at home with a 1.87 goals against and a 944 save percentage. And I believe he's gone under 5.5 in 5 of his last 7 starts at home. So for me, it would have been a play on the under, but it was sitting at minus 135, which is a little bit too much juice for me to pay on a total. So for me, I was looking at the first period under 1.5 at minus 110 as a potential look here. Just with these two goalies, the way they're playing, and just looking back at the way the Rangers have played on back-to-backs, quite often they end up giving up a goal and trail 1-0 after one on the second leg of these back-to-backs here. So I think that they will win this game, but I'm expecting maybe they come out with a little slow start here and maybe take this Arizona team a little lightly. And then I think Shesterkin has the ability to hold it down early for this team. So I think the first period under 1.5 at minus 110 will probably be the play for me.
All right. Next up, Carolina Hurricanes minus 170 in New Jersey facing the Devils, plus 150 for the Devils, a total of 6.5. In this game, I didn't take a side or a total in this game. New Jersey is 4-1 in their last 5 at home versus Carolina. However, Carolina is the far superior team this year. 14-4-1 on the road, 6-1-1 in their last 8 games. Both of these teams are trending to the over, so I would lean with the over. What I did in this game, I took Jesper Bratt to get an assist at plus 120 and Jack Hughes to get an assist at plus 120, both for a half unit. Those two lead the Devils in assists. Nathan and I have cashed multiple times now where we get a goal from the Devils assisted by both of those players, and we cash 2 bets off 1 goal. I won't be surprised if it happens again tonight. So I am on that. There wasn't a lot of value in Carolina props just because they are the big favorites, minus 170. So I didn't really find any value in any of their props. So I went with Hughes and Bratt assists. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I agree. That Hughes-Bratt assist combo is pretty deadly, especially on that power play. That's what happened last game, even though they lost 4-1. The only thing that scares me is Carolina's power play kill is really good. They were chasing the record. I don't know if they got it or not, but they lost it against, I think it was Florida, when they ended up beating Florida. But that's the only thing that scares me off of adding Hughes and Bratt, especially because they're such a big card. I've tried to keep my cards smaller. But if I was going to attack it that way, that's who I would go with, because if the Devils are going to score, that's who's going to be assisted. Like Terry said, we've been – like out of the past 10 games they played, like 6 or 7 of them, when Hughes and Bratt are both playing, have cashed 1-2 on 1 goal. And that's always nice. I do like, however, one of my parlay pieces for the day is Carolina to score in the first period. Devils looks really porous against the Coyotes, and I don't think that anything's going to change the fact, especially when they're playing a higher caliber team in the Hurricanes, who just got done absolutely stomping the Rangers last night. So I think the Hurricanes win, because they're the better team, even on a back-to-back. But there's no value in this game. It's been really heavily bet right now.
All right, Money Mac, Carolina Devils or Carolina, New Jersey.
Oh, there it is. All right, yeah, Carolina and Jersey. Nothing so far to me. I'd lean to New Jersey money line, and a lean to the under. But with Carolina playing as well as they have been, I think it's gonna be a pass for me for this game. The Devils are 1-5 in the last 6 after scoring 2 or less, and 3-13 after a loss of 3 or more. But the head-to-head matchup does favor New Jersey here. Home team is 7-1 in the last 8, and Carolina is 0-4 in the last 4 in New Jersey. And then the unders running at a 6-2-2 in the last 10 at New Jersey, and 15-5-4 in the last 24 total meetings between these two teams. So if I had to play something, it'd probably be the under, but it's a pass.
All right. That sports guy. What do you think? Carolina, New Jersey.
For me here, let's see. So Carolina on the road this year is 14-4-1, 8-10-1 to the over. New Jersey at home is 9-8-3, 9-10-1 to the over. They've gone over in 9 of their last 13 games. Carolina's gone over in 5 of their last 7. So it would be a lean towards the over, but at 6.5, I tend to stay away most of the time. I think as it was said, New Jersey in the head-to-head is 5-1 straight up in the last 6 that these two teams have played in New Jersey. And they've gone under in 8 of the last 12 head-to-head. One thing I did see, Ranta this year is 2-1-1 on the road with a 265 goals against and 892 save percentage, but I don't think he's let in over 3 goals against all year in all of his starts, all across the board, home or away. Blackwood this year has been all right, but he hasn't been great. So for me, if I was looking to target either the Carolina team total over 3.5 or maybe the race to 4 at plus 130 for a little bit more value, but I think we see Carolina put up 4 here. They average 3.37 goals for on the road. So they're a team that can score on the road. And with Blackwood being shaky, if you look at his last few starts, I think Carolina team total is definitely going to be a play for me. And if not the team total, I might take the race to 4 at plus 130 just for a little bit extra, a boost in the odds there.
All right. I actually thought I heard something about Blackwood not starting today, that there was a different goalie off the ice. Actually, for Carolina, Jack LaFontaine will make his debut, NHL debut today for Carolina.
Yeah, I think I saw that too as well. My bad. Yeah, so I mean that kind of
John Gillies was first off the ice today, just to back up what you saw, Terry.
Oh, okay, that's it. Yeah, John Gillies. So, still no confirmed goalie in that game. So, really, we're not sure yet. That's
I think
the
regardless. I think regardless of who goes for New Jersey, I would still take that team total personally. I think at those odds for Carolina to score 4 goals, I mean, I'll take that.
for sure.
Are you going to do a full unit or a half unit on the race to 4?
Probably a full unit. I mean, I usually tend to go full units on everything that is kind of under plus 200. Usually when I get to that higher plus 100 or plus 200 range, I'll kind of drop it down to a half unit. But for me, I would still go a full unit. Like I said, I think I expect goals in this game, but it's just kind of unsure with how Ranta's played. He's shown that he can, have a game where he'll steal it. He hasn't let in more than 3 in any of his appearances this year, so it gives me a little bit of concern with the Devils. Even though they do play a little better at home, I think that Carolina team total is probably safe.
All right. If you see any of us jumping or cheering in the background, NFL football is going on right now. So we are all here doing the show, but we're also watching football. That's how it goes, right? So I think we're all on the Bengals. Nathan, are you on Cincinnati?
No, I'm not on Cincinnati. I'm on the Titans, but with the way they're playing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the Titans as well. Not looking great.
So me and Money Mac here are on Cincinnati, and you guys are on the Titans. So a little rivalry here. We'll move on to the next game. The worst team in the NHL, Montreal Canadiens, head to Colorado, one of the highest scoring teams. We have another minus 700 for Colorado, plus 500 for Montreal, a total of 6.5. I want no part in Montreal. I don't really think that should be too much of a surprise. They're just horrible. I honestly feel like they are looking at Shane Wright, who is likely to be drafted first overall, a Canadian boy, and they're thinking, hey, we need this guy. And, that's exactly who the Montreal needs, would be a top prospect like that. So I don't really see them. They have got a couple wins. They beat Dallas recently, but I don't trust Montreal whatsoever. Colorado hasn't been as strong as they were recently, but they still score a lot at home. Colorado is second in goals for at home, 4.58 goals a game. Montreal is dead last on the road, 32nd, with 4 goals against allowed per game. This is a good spot for Colorado. I am on Colorado race to 5 goals plus 105 for a half unit. I think Colorado gets to 5 goals. I think they score 5 or 6 in this game, and Montreal is not going to beat them to 5 goals. So I was all over team totals before. I was always betting team totals, but somebody mentioned the race to 4, race to 3, race to 5, and you can get that for plus money. So I'm getting Colorado race to 5 goals at plus money, plus 105. But if I took Colorado team total over 4.5, I would not be getting plus money. So they still have to score 5 goals. They just have to do it before Montreal. Montreal, I don't see them getting 5 goals in this game. So Colorado race to 5 plus 105 for a half unit for me. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I like that one. I like Colorado getting hot. They didn't look themselves on that West Coast road trip, especially against the Ducks. The Ducks shut down that high flying offense for most of the game. Game should have ended 1-0 if the Ducks didn't pull their goalie and Colorado didn't get that empty netter. But they're lights out at home, and they're gonna pack the stadium tonight. Absolutely shell the Habs. They should get some positive regression goals wise as to compared to what they had on that West Coast road trip. I like the race to 5 at plus money if you're going a team total over. I also like the Avs getting a hot start at home. I bet the 3-way earlier when it was at minus 125 first period. I really like that. And I think all of the Colorado props, they've been bet up a whole lot recently. And I don't think there's much value there for the big risk because I think any one of these 3 lines can score on the Habs, even though the Habs have been playing better. And yes, they did beat the Stars. I just think there's too much firepower, and they've been on a really long road trip to start the year off. So I'm going to go with Colorado 3-way money line in the first period. That's going to be my best bet today. I think they get off to a hot start, as I said before. And then I will sprinkle a half unit on the race to 5. 5 is a lot, but I think this team can do it.
For sure. Money Mac, are you taking Montreal? Muted? I think you're muted. We can't hear you. Nope. Can't hear you for some reason.
Yeah, he's not muted. I think it might be a device connection.
Yeah, maybe jump out and jump back in. Yeah. So we'll look at some player props here while we wait for him quickly. We got some time here. Looking at it, all the props for Colorado are like Kadri to get an assist, minus 175. Landeskog to get an assist, minus 180. It's hard to take these.
Yeah, and even Rantanen for a goal is only plus 100. It's just like I said earlier, anyone on one of these 3 lines can score. I could see the third line of Colorado getting 2 goals in this game, and so then your props are all no value, even if someone that is good does score.
McKinnon plus 1.5 assists is plus 175. So you'd have to take him to get 2 assists. Your audio is good. Yeah.
Clear? Or
Yep.
I have nothing on this Colorado Montreal game. I want nothing to do with a minus 700 team, and I definitely don't trust Montreal enough to take the money line. I mean, it'd be hard to talk anybody off taking a plus 500 money line. You don't see that too often in the NHL. But like you guys were saying, Montreal is just not a good team this year, and I just can't get behind that. But we did see them beat Vegas in a big upset, which was close to about the same price. So it'd definitely be hard to talk anybody off taking them at plus 500. I mean, plus 500 is still plus 500. So nothing for me, but definitely think Colorado's going to win this one pretty easily.
Yeah, even in a parlay, minus 500 doesn't really do much for you. But hey, maybe this will be one of our parlay pieces, but not for me. On Sports Guy, what do you think, Montreal and Colorado?
Yeah, I think you guys kind of said it all here. Like Montreal is not a good team this year. I think Colorado at home 16-2-1, 13-3-3 to the over. The Habs on the road 3-15-5, 14-8-1 to the over. So initially I would lean over 6.5, but like I said earlier, I don't really take totals when they're at 6.5. I tend to stay away. I don't know if I trust Montreal. They obviously could score. I know Colorado has some suspect goaltending, but I don't know if I trust them to be able to do much here. So for me, I think I would take the team total over 4.5 for the Avs. I mean, even money on my book. So for me, that'd probably be the play here. The race to 5 goals, I also don't mind that if you can get a little bit better odds than the team total. For me, on my book that I'm seeing, it's like I said, even money for over 4.5. And then the race to 5 is plus 105. So it's not much of a difference. I think I might just take the team total over 4.5. 5 cents isn't much to make me want to take the race to 5. I mean, just in case. But it'd be Avs team total, and then that's probably it.
All right. The next game, Ottawa is in Washington. This hasn't been a good building for Ottawa. Washington has won 8 straight games at home versus the Senators. So this has not been a very good building for Ottawa. Washington is 11-5-5 in their last 21 at home in their home record this year. Ottawa 6-10-2. Both these teams are trending to the over right now. 5 of Washington's last 10 have gone over, 3 under, 2 pushes on 6, and then 3 of Ottawa's last 5 have gone over 6. For me in this game, I don't have anything. I do have a parlay, and Washington money line is part of it. But when it comes to side bets, I don't like the number here for Washington minus 200. Obviously, Washington is an overtime team. They seem to go to overtime a lot. So taking Washington in regulation at minus 130 doesn't really make much sense to me because, they could very well win this game by multi-goals, but they have been this team that seems to go to overtime. If I was going to take anything, it would be Washington first period puck line, half a goal plus 130. I may actually get to that. I could see Washington coming out here in the first period strong and getting a couple goals. So that's all I would have in that game. I will mention, so Washington is the second leg of my 4-game parlay. I have a money line parlay. The first game is the Rangers, which we went over. Second game is Washington. And then I'll go over the other teams as well and recap at the end. But I see Washington winning, but I can't take their money line, obviously, at minus 200. And I can't take them in regulation because I feel there's risk there because they have been an overtime team. Nathan, what do you think? Ottawa, Washington.
Yeah, that one's hard. Like I said, all these games you have big favorites, and they've been bet pretty heavily. The biggest thing I have from this one is Washington to score in the first period. I've been riding that trend for a while. Even when they were beat up and not performing well, they still were able to get out and at least fight for the first period of the game and stay kind of in it. And I'm just using it on a parlay right now. It's because the Senators are the Senators. Everyone's really bet it, and it's at minus 230 right now. I still have it at minus 215 for my parlays, and that's going to be another piece that I've been adding to it. But that's the only thing I have in this game. It's everyone wants to add Ovechkin to score, but I don't even think there's value on that one just because of the Senators. So Ovechkin to score on my book right now is it's not loading. But I don't think there's enough value there for me to pull the trigger because he.
Oh, I think you cut out there a little bit, Nathan. I think you're back. Minus 135 at my book for Ovechkin to score. So yeah,
That's not worth it. I don't take goal props. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's another one that's the only thing I'm on is this for a parlay piece in this game.
All right, Money Mac. What do you think, Senators and Capitals?
I'm on the half. The over's 4-0 in the last 4 meetings between Ottawa and Washington. And then Ottawa itself is the over 16-5 in the last 21 versus Metro, and 6-2 on the last 8 Saturday games for them. And then looking at Washington, they're running over 4-0 on in the last 4 on 1 day's rest. 12-2 in the last 14 at home. 9-2 in the last 11 versus a winning team with a win percentage below 400. So, I mean, we all can see Washington winning here, and I didn't want to take the side, like you said, Terry. Washington seems to find a way to go to overtime, and Ottawa seems to play up to their competition. They always seem to give good teams a run for their money, whether like we seen in Pittsburgh the other night. Yeah, they lost 6-4, but they battled back. Oh. And funny stat for Ottawa and Washington. Straight up, Ottawa's 4-0 in the last 4 after allowing 5 or more. And straight up, Washington is 0-6 when their opponent lets in 5 or more. So I wanted nothing to do with that side. So I see this game being a lot of goals. So I'm on the over 6.5 at minus 105.
All right. Can't talk you off that. Ottawa's goaltending seems to be pretty iffy lately. Murray actually did well. So they sent Murray down to the AHL, which surprised everybody because they did sign him to a 5-year deal. And they sent him to the AHL. And then because of injuries, had to call him up. He won them a few games and then got injured. So he's out. And they have to rely on Forsberg, who just hasn't played well enough. That Sports Guy. What do you think here, Ottawa and Washington?
I thought I saw Matt Murray confirmed for today.
Is he back?
Yeah, I thought I saw Murray versus Vanacek.
Oh yeah,
for
so
this game.
he will start. So he is back.
Yeah, for me, I think you guys said most of it here. Ottawa has looked okay since they've come back. They had that loss against Pittsburgh where they went down early. Then they kind of clawed their way back, and then eventually the empty netter covered the puck line. But if you look how this team's playing in terms of expected goals, they're playing all right offensively here. So for me, I made a play on the Ottawa team total over 2.5 at minus 105. I think Vanacek has not been good for the Caps this year. He's looked all right, but he's got a 2.71 goals against and a 903 save percentage and minus 2.5 goals saved above expected. So he hasn't really been able to bail him out. The Sens team is kind of causing other teams a little bit of problems right now. So I took the Sens team total over 2.5 at minus 105.
All right, I can see that. Next up, Toronto is in New York facing the Islanders. Minus 170 for Toronto, plus 150 for the Islanders. A total of 5.5. I'm really not sure about this game. Toronto's 3-2 in their last 5 in New York facing the Islanders. Toronto's also 10-6-2 on the road this year, but only 4-2-1 in their last 7. Islanders are 6-1 in their last 7. They're playing very good hockey right now. Islanders have actually moved up to first in goals against at home, 2.19 goals against they allow. But Islanders are the big dog here. It's a plus 150 for the Islanders. If I had to go anywhere, that's where I'd lean. But I'm staying off this game. There's other spots on the board that I like, and it's best not to make plays, if not to push plays. Bet what you like, but don't go overboard. I've learned that the hard way. So for me, I lean Islanders plus 150, but no bet for me. What do you think, Nathan? Maple Leafs and Islanders.
Yeah, it's a weird spot for the Leafs. They've been on the road for a long time, a really long time. And the Islanders have been playing good hockey. This is just a strict stay off for me. I could totally see the Islanders winning, but at plus 150 against the Leafs are the better team. Like you said, the Islanders have been giving up a bunch of goals at home. So at plus 150, I don't really like the value in the Islanders. I think they could have a shot to win, but not at plus 150. I'm completely staying off this game.
All right. And our resident Maple Leafs fan, Money Mac, what do you think?
Well, should have had my jersey on, but I am on the over 5.5 at plus 100, and that's going to be my parlay piece. Toronto, we all know what Toronto's offense can do, and the Islanders have been putting up goals lately themselves. The over is 12-4 in the last 16 meetings in New York, and 19-7 in the last 26 total. And then obviously Toronto has been an over team as of late, 4-0 in the last 4 after allowing 5 or more. 10-1 in the last 11 when their opponent scores 2 or less, and 6-1 in the last 7 on 2 days rest. So when I seen 5.5 sitting at this game at even money, I jumped all over it, and it's definitely gonna be my parlay piece. I've got it tagged in a few parlays myself. I think either way this game goes, if the Islanders are gonna win, it's gonna be a shootout. And if the Leafs win, I think they'll win by margin. So I definitely lean Toronto puck line, or safer bet is regulation, but I'm just going to stick with the over 5.5 for now.
All right. That's Sports Guy. Leafs and Islanders, what do you think?
For me here, I haven't taken anything in this game officially. We're kind of getting to that point now where I'm just kind of capping as we're going. Haven't really gotten through all these games yet, but I just finished this game now. I think, like you guys said, the Islanders are playing really good hockey right now. They're 6-1 in their last 7 games. I know their opponents haven't been too great. They played Philly a couple times in there. They also played the Coyotes the other night with who just went in net from? Was it Wedgwood?
Yeah, Wedgwood was in last night.
Yeah, so obviously they played the Yotes with the shittier of their two goalies. I think that I'll probably end up taking the Islanders money line here, just thinking they got the advantage in net with Varlamov going most likely, I think, because Sorokin went last night. I'm not sure if that's confirmed, but the Leafs are throwing Mrazek out there, who's 2-2 on the road with a 3.59 goals against and an .880 save percentage. He hasn't looked great this year at all. I know the last game he played, I think, was at the Yotes, and he didn't see too many shots, but I'm pretty sure they lost that game, correct? Yeah, they did. They lost that game to the Yotes there. Toronto obviously is the better team, so it is tough to take the Islanders at only plus 150, but I think that's where I lean with this game. Just seeing that the Islanders are kind of playing low event hockey as of late in terms of giving up chances. So I think they could win a tight game here. But I haven't officially taken that play. It's kind of just a lean for me for now. We'll see kind of when I get to the end of the capping all these games, how many plays I got and what I end up taking.
All right, no worries. You can definitely just tell the leans. Money Mac, you have something to add?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna add Toronto in regulation here. Just looking through my notes. Favorites 14-3 in the last 17. Toronto is 7-3 in the last 10, and straight up, Toronto is 10-2 in the last 12 as a road favorite. And looking at the Islanders, their last 6 games as a home dog, they are 0-6, and their last 8 games versus a team with a win percentage above 600, they are 1-7. So might be a bit of a homer pick here, but I'm going to add the Leafs in regulation as well.
All right, no problem. Leafs I think we all agree that the Leafs are the better team. Islanders are playing well right now, but we'll see what the Leafs can do. 4 games left. I really like this one. I have quite a few picks on this game. Detroit is in Nashville, plus 190 for Detroit, minus 230 for Nashville, a total of 5.5. Detroit played last night at home, and they lost. It was Dallas, right? I believe. Yeah, Dallas.
Yeah.
And Detroit lost. Detroit's been pretty good at home, but they have not been good on the road. Detroit is 27th in goals for on the road, 2.37 a game. Nashville scoring 3.11 at home. Detroit's allowing 3.95 goals. That's 30th in the league. Nashville at home, 7th. They're allowing 2.37. Nashville's also 3-2 in their last 5 at home versus Detroit. This Detroit team's not good on the road. This is the third leg of my 4-team money line parlay. I have Nashville money line. I also have a half unit on Nashville puck line, minus 1.5, plus 110. A half unit on Nashville race to 4 goals at plus 125. Forsberg anytime goal, a half unit, plus 120. Johansson over half an assist, a quarter unit, plus 150. And Duchesne over half an assist, a quarter unit, plus 140. As you can see, 5 bets on the Predators here. I think they get to Detroit tonight. The confirmed goalies for this game, there are none. It is projected to be Thomas Greiss. He's 6-7-1 with an 894 save percentage and a 3.36 goals against average. Meanwhile, Saros 21-11-2, a 924 save percentage and a 2.42 goals against. Clearly, Saros is the better goaltender. Nashville's the better team. I'm going to take them here. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I agree. I called the get right spot back with the Jets because the Preds have been on a skid ever since kind of taking control and beating Colorado and getting on top of the division. But I think they're getting back to it. Forsberg's back. He hasn't scored yet. I like that Forsberg goal. Load up on the assists. Josi, Granlund, Johansson. The Stars are bad, even though they've beaten the Sabres and then the Red Wings last night. And yeah, the Red Wings shouldn't have lost at the crib to the Stars. We're like, I don't know where we're pulling this magic out, but we still ended up winning. So I'm thinking the Sabres get rolling, or not Sabres, the Predators get rolling, and it's not going to be pretty tonight. Especially, not only are the Red Wings on the road, they're off a back-to-back. It's just not a good spot for them. I could see this game getting out of hand, just like you. And I haven't done all my props yet, just because kind of like that sports guy, I'm kind of capping as we go and loading up my card, unfortunately. But yeah, this is I just really like the Predators in this spot.
All right, I'm with you there, Money Mac. What do you think?
Yeah, just give me. Okay, I was just getting a line written down just to make sure I had everything in order here. I'm on the Predators puck line at even money. Detroit coming off a back-to-back against a pretty hard fought game against Dallas last night. It was back and forth, and they almost pulled out the win. Surprisingly, I actually thought they were going to pull out the win there with Dallas's road record. And I'm also on the over 5.5 at minus 111. The over is trending positively for both teams here. Head to head, the over is 3-0-1 the last 4. And then looking at each side, Nashville is 6-0 the overs for the last 6 Saturday games, 6-1 in the last 7 on 1 day's rest, and Detroit's 10-1 in the last 11 to the over of last 11 back-to-back games. And then 5-1-1 in the last 7 when their opponent scores 5+. Detroit straight up 1-6 in the last 7 back-to-back games after an OT. So that's a very specific stat there. And then Nashville is 4-0 in the last 4 after allowing 2 or less. They are 4-0 in their last 4 versus the East, but I don't see Detroit being that team to make it 0-5. Nashville, with Saros in net and them starting to get healthy again, I'm more than comfortable enough laying the puck line with Detroit coming off the back-to-back with their back-to-back record. So I'm on Nashville minus 1.5 at even money, and the over 5.5 at minus 111.
All right. That sports guy, I know you're capping as you go. Detroit, Nashville, what do you think?
Yeah, I just kind of quickly finished this one. I think you guys nailed it here. Detroit on the road is definitely not a team I want to back in any way, shape, or form. 5-11-3 on the road. Nashville 12-7 at home. Detroit has gone under in 4 of their last 5, and Nashville's gone over in 9 of their last 12. Personally, I would have a lean toward the over, but I'm not sure if I trust Detroit on the road with Saros going for the Preds. He's obviously one of those guys who's one of the best goalies in the league. So for me, I'm not sure if I trust Detroit enough to help carry that over. Instead, I'll take a look. I'm going to take the Nashville team total over 3.5 at plus 105. If it is Nedeljkovic going, which I don't think it would be because he just played last night, I believe, his numbers on the road aren't as great. And then he would be playing on the second night of a back-to-back with travel, but I don't think it's going to be him. I think it's probably going to be Grice. Is that anybody got a confirmation on that?
Nobody's confirmed yet, but Grice is projected, obviously, because they're in the back-to-back, but no yet.
Yeah, and if it is Grice, I mean, he's won 5-1 on the road this year with a 4.93 goals against and an 850 save percentage. So he has been horrendous on the road. So Nashville team total over 3.5 at plus 105. I like that.
All right. The next game. This is the one. That I'm going to be talking about the most here. Chicago Blackhawks plus 175 are in Minnesota minus 210. A total of 6 here. Yesterday, Minnesota opened. I think it was
even money.
No, it was they moved to even money by the end of the day. But
I think
it was
around minus 135.
I
I got them at minus 140.
Yeah, minus 140, and then they moved all the way to minus 115, and everybody was asking why, and I couldn't give them an answer. They were asking me, right, being the Wild fan, and asking why, and I couldn't give them an answer. What we kind of found out is that Chicago had some returning players, Kirby Dach, and a couple other players. I think Strome, I'm not sure, but a couple.
Yeah, Seth Jones too.
Seth Jones, yeah. So a big defenseman. So they had some players come back, and that kind of moved the odds. But Minnesota showed that they should have been bigger favorites. The Wild played an excellent game. It was really fun to watch. A 5-1 final. It would have been a 5-0 game, but unfortunately, Kakkonen slipped in the crease, and goal went in. But 34 out of 35 saves Kakkonen actually leads the NHL in goalie save percentage since January 1st. This is a goalie that started off pretty bad. He had a couple rough games to start the season, and some people were wondering if the Wild were going to go out in the trade market and grab another goalie. I believe in Kakkonen. He's played very well in the past, and he's showing that he belongs here. 34 out of 35 saves and leads NHL in percentage since the first. Today is also a special holiday in Minnesota. It is Hockey Day, Minnesota. Once a year, they have this day. There's hockey all day long. High schools, I think the college plays as well, the university. And then it always usually ends with the Wild. The Wild are 11-2-1 all time on Hockey Day, Minnesota. The Wild are 3-1-1 in their last 5 at home versus Chicago. I think we see a repeat of last night. Obviously, it won't be 5-1, I don't think. But I think we see a big smashing by the Wild. They are my 4th team in my 4-team parlay. So I'll go over that. Rangers money line, Washington money line, Nashville money line, Minnesota money line. The 4-team parlay plus 323. And I have a half unit on that. I like those 4 teams. And then for straight bets, here we go. Minnesota first period puck line, half unit plus 140. 2 units on Minnesota in regulation at minus 120. Half a unit on Minnesota puck line plus 125. 0.75 units on Minnesota race to 4 goals plus 125. Half a unit on Kaprizov over and a half an assist at minus 110, and half a unit on Zuccarello over half an assist at minus 120. I may be a huge Wild fan, but they proved last night exactly how good they are, and that the Chicago team is no match for them, especially on this holiday, Hockey Day in Minnesota. All are going to come to play. They're going to come to play early, and they are going to lead this game. Nathan, what do you think? Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I've seen what happens on Minnesota Hockey Day. I believe the Stars were on a bad end of that one last year, if I can't recall. I agree. I mean, Hawks on the road aren't the same as the Hawks at home, and we were riding the Wild train yesterday, and I'm not going to get off it. I don't know if it's going to be as high scoring, but I do think Minnesota takes care of business at the crib tonight. I'll probably be tailing a couple of your prop picks there because you know the Wild like the back of your hand, kind of like how Money Mac knows the Leafs like the back of his hand. So I'll tail a couple of your prop picks that you have up on your Google Sheets, and I think the Wild.
Oh, cut out.
Awesome. I think you meant to say he thinks the Wild wins. Money Mac, what do you think? You're not in Chicago, are you?
Oh God, no. I was on Minnesota last night at a pretty good price. I believe I got them at minus 115. So I got a bit of a better price than a lot of other people who took them early. I like Minnesota again today. I'm looking at Minnesota in regulation. Just gonna look at the number there. Minnesota
It's minus 140 on my book.
Minus 140.
Minus 125. Minus 125 at Bet365.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna take the Wild in regulation there at minus 125 for a unit. They proved last night that they are the superior team, and with Fleury going last night, and obviously I don't see them putting him in a back-to-back situation again. Minnesota's definitely got the goalie advantage tonight. I like the over there as well. The over's 3-1-1 in the last 5 and 7-3-1 in the last 11 in Minnesota. Home teams 6-2 in the last 8, and the favorites 6-2 in the last 8. So just goes to show you right there that usually you get if you're the home team, usually you're sitting favorite. And straight up, Minnesota's 9-2 in the last 11 after a win. The over is trending for Chicago and Detroit, or Chicago and Minnesota. So if you can get a good price, over 6.5, over 6, I'm seeing on my one books minus 111. So I'm going to take that as well. So over 6 minus 111, and Minnesota in regulation at minus 125.
Awesome. Love to hear it. That sports guy. Are we going to make it a sweep on here? Are you on the Wild?
Yeah, I don't think there's a way you can back Chicago in this game. I think Minnesota's obviously the better team. At home this year, they are 12-3-1, 13-3 to the over. The Blackhawks on the road, 7-11-3, 11-7-3 to the over. Blackhawks 4-8 straight up their last 12 games. Wild 4-1 straight up their last 5. Smaller sample there, but to me, I think Minnesota and Reg is the play at minus 125. If you're still getting that, I would take that. I'm going to jump on Bet365 to take that. So Wild and regulation is a play for me. And then the Wild race to 4. You get a better price than the team total. Obviously, that's been said by a couple of these guys. Race to 4 plus 120 I'm seeing on the one book. I can't check the price of Bet365. I'm just using my phone right now. And if I leave this stream, it'll kind of take me off. So Wild and Reg at minus 125, and Wild race to 4 at plus 120. If Chicago's most likely going to throw Lankinen out there, he's 0-4-2 on the road with 4.15 goals against and an .866 save percentage. So I think that the Wild, they'll score 4 goals. I think they'll do it well before Chicago does. So that race to 4, and then in regulation.
Yeah, I love that bet. I love both those bets. Yeah, I forgot to mention goaltending wise. So Fleury made the start yesterday. That's one of the reasons why I kind of went lighter on the Wild yesterday, just because Fleury has been playing really well. He got shelled by the Wild. He ended up getting pulled in the second period. Kaapo Kähkönen, as I said, 34 out of 35 saves last night. He is starting again. So Talbot, who may not necessarily be 100%, is not getting the start tonight. Actually, when I was watching the game yesterday, I was sitting there thinking, oh, I hope Kaapo starts again tomorrow, just because of how well he's been playing. And
do you have a sorry to interrupt? Do you have a how he's done in back-to-backs? Has he ever played 2 in a row?
In the NHL, he may have last year. Talbot got hurt and he had to play, I think it was 10 games in a row. He won 9 in a row. I don't know if he ever played back-to-back. I'm not sure. But whatever goalie Chicago puts in, they both played last night as well. So for me, yeah, it's the Wild. We will move on along here. This is an interesting one. Calgary is in Edmonton, the Battle of Alberta. Minus 120 for Calgary, plus 100 for Edmonton. Edmonton actually opened as the favorite yesterday, and the odds have shifted. For me in this one, I'm on Calgary. I'm not backing this Oilers team. They are absolutely horrible lately. They are on a huge downward spiral. I think they've lost something of 13 of 15 games or something like that. Don't have the exact stat here, but they have not been playing well. Calgary, 6th on the road in goals for, 3.32. 5th in goals against, 2.55. They are a much better road team than they are a home team, and they are in Edmonton tonight. Edmonton is 4-1 in the last 5 home meetings versus Calgary, but I don't like how this Edmonton team is playing, and I can't back them. So I have a half unit on Calgary money line minus 120, and a half unit on Tkachuk over half an assist plus 140. Kachuk has been he's one of the leaders for Calgary, and has made me money in the past. So I like Calgary tonight. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I agree. And we're coming down into a very game-heavy stretch of this slate due to all the COVID delays. And the Oilers, we've been saying it all season, they have no depth, and it's starting to show. Guys have been eating a ton of ice time, and they've been having to play people that aren't very good, and they just get beat on the second and third line consistently. Calgary's one of the best teams on the road. Oilers are lane. I don't see it stopping. There's, like I said before, there's just no depth. I like Chuck for an assist. Me and you have been riding him. He's been on fire, distributing and getting it done. And I might pull the trigger on a Mangiapane goal. He's also been heating up. But I like the Flames. I got them on the money line early when it dropped. I got them for -110. I think it's -120 now. But I definitely think this is a Flame spot.
All right, Money Mac, Calgary and Edmonton.
Yeah, you guys covered quite a bit of what I was going to say there. Calgary's been great on the road this year. 6-1 in the last 7 as a road favorite. And Edmonton's just leaking oil right now. You got fans throwing their jerseys on the ice every night, getting blown out. Calgary is 1-5 in the last 6 in Edmonton. The favorite's 16-6 total in this series. The under is actually 4-1 in the last 5 in Edmonton, and 4-1 in the last 5 overall. So I'm on Calgary money line as well. And then I'm also on the under 6. Calgary money line -120 is my best bet for the night, and then just getting a line on the under here. Yeah, even money. So even money under 6. I think after getting blown out and embarrassed by Florida, Edmonton's gonna definitely try to tighten their defense up. But I don't think it's going to be enough for them to get the win tonight against this Calgary team who's just slid a little bit lately. But overall, lately, they've been the better team. And I just can't see Edmonton putting it together tonight, not against a Calgary team that just came off getting bag skated and a big win against Florida. They are... the over is trending for Calgary in their last 4 games. They're 4-0 in the last 4 as road favorite. 5-1 in the last 6 after allowing 2 or more. And over is 5-1 in the last 6 when their opponent scores 2 or less. I see game could be a chippy game and end up being a low scoring game. Edmonton's trending towards the under. They're under 6-0-1 the last 7 as a dog. Straight up, they're 0-6 in the last 6 when they score 2 when their opponent allows 2 or less, and 0-4 in the last 4 when they score 2 or less. So it was pretty simple for me in this game. The way Edmonton's been playing and where the trends are pointing, I jumped all over Calgary money line and the under 6 at even money.
All right. Are you at all worried with the under, just how Koskinen has been playing? He's been pretty rough.
Yeah, he hasn't been great. Getting called out by his head coach there the other week, I think could push him to put out quite a bit of a better effort. But I could be wrong there. That's why I'm also on the Calgary money line at -120. I've got that tagged in a few parlays as well.
Something that helps you actually with that, for the last 5 games, so Edmonton's 4-1 in their last 5 at home versus Calgary. About 4 out of the 5 went under.
Yeah.
So these teams are trending to an under trend. I myself couldn't really decide. Like, I was thinking Calgary. Maybe I'll do Calgary team to score, or Calgary to score for race to 3 or race to 4. But Calgary hasn't been playing well enough either. for me to justify that. But Edmonton's goaltending is just bad, so
Exactly.
we'll have to see what happens there.
And I believe Edmonton's still missing a few key pieces. Not
Is
sure.
Hyman still out? I'm not
I believe Hyman's still out.
Yeah.
So that definitely puts a hole in their lineup that, frankly, they can't afford, and they just can't seem to keep the puck out of their net. But I think I don't think Calgary puts up 6, and I don't think Edmonton gets more than 1 tonight.
I feel that sports guy. The Battle of Alberta. I know you're close. You're there in near Vancouver, right, or in BC. So, being the Canucks fan, do you hate Calgary, Edmonton? Are they your rivals, or who's your biggest rival?
No, I don't really hate them, man. You just look at them. They can't really put together any playoff success. So what's there really to hate, right? Like they kind of just seem to get there and then just kind of fold, right? You look at the Oilers, like so much hype, and then they got swept by the Jets. So I mean, no, I wouldn't really call any of them rivals. Kind of just, I mean, you watch McDavid, you watch Draisaitl. They're two of the best players in the league. They're fun to watch on any night. But in this game, for me, I'm taking Calgary money line as well, minus 120. I think the Oilers are just kind of reeling right now. That last game, it was going all right for a bit, and then they just kind of collapsed in the third against Florida there. I mean, with a little more puck luck, maybe we see 1 or 2 go by and for Edmonton. But in this spot, I think Calgary's the team you got to back. For the Oilers, it's kind of like, show me a win before I can kind of back you again. I am expecting a tight game, a chippy game. These two are obviously provincial rivals. Calgary, Edmonton, not too far away from one another. I usually do see chippy physical games, so I would probably lean towards the under 6 here. But I think Calgary money line is probably going to be the only move for me. I think they got the massive advantage in goal as well with Markstrom going, and then Koskinen for the Oilers, who's obviously, as you guys mentioned, been called out in the media as of late. So I think Calgary money lines to play.
All right, we will move along to our last game of the night, and then we'll get to best bets and best parlay piece. Tampa Bay is in San Jose, minus 145 for Tampa, plus 125 for San Jose, a total of 6. Tampa had a rough game last night. They played in Anaheim, and a few of us actually had Tampa Bay as part of our best bets or parlay piece. I think a couple people, but Tampa just didn't show up. And you think with Vasilevsky and that, you think, okay, Tampa's going to come here. This is a good Tampa spot, and I totally agreed with you guys. But Tampa just didn't come to play, and you can't just show up and think, oh, it's the Ducks. They're not playing well right now. We'll smash them. We're fine. And just go on like that. You actually have to come and put out effort. And Tampa didn't do that. So they lost last night. It wasn't pretty. They're back at it again in San Jose tonight. I lean San Jose. I don't have a good enough feeling to actually pull the trigger on them. But what I did do is put a quarter unit on Meyer to score, Timo Meyer, plus 175. I put a quarter unit on that. He's been scoring. He actually had a 5-goal game the other night. And then I believe he scored the previous game. So I am liking Timo Meyer to get a goal here. I can see Tampa Bay coming out here and trying to bounce back. As I said, that was a pretty bad effort last night. And they have been a team that has bounced back in previous history. So I'm not taking a side. I'm just going to hope for a Meyer goal, and that's all I need. Nathan, Tampa, San Jose, what do you think?
Oh, it's a weird spot. I don't really want to touch this one. Tampa Bay's at the end of this West Coast road trip, and that's what really bothers me. They're kind of finicky on the road, and also the Sharks just got beat by the Kraken. So we have two teams that are reeling off of embarrassing bad losses, and it's it's a weird spot. I mean, they both need to win games. Tampa needs the points to stay up with Florida. San Jose needs the points to stay in it with the Kings and the Ducks. I mean, I just can't get a feeling. I could see this one just being goals, and I could see him just locking down and being like a 2-1 final. But I don't know which Tampa team we're going to get, the team that's looking forward to going back to Florida or the team that's reeling off an embarrassment. It's the same thing with the Sharks. I still can't get a read on this Sharks team. When you think they lose and when you think they're going to lose, they puck line a good team. So I'm not going to stay on this team. I do like that Meyer goal prop though. If I was going to commit and put this game on my card, I would add that there. He has been really hot recently. So I do like your take on that. It's just I can't get a read. So I'm just going to completely stay off it, props and sidewise.
Nothing wrong with staying off the game. Nothing at all. Money Mac, Lightning Sharks. I know the Lightning burned you last night there on the best bet. But are you going back to them tonight, or what do you think?
I am going to go back to them tonight. I'm going to go back to the well. Tampa is great off a loss. I'm also going to take the over 6 at -106. The over is 4-0 in the last 4 after Tampa allows 5 or more, and 4-0-1 the last 5 back-to-back games. And head-to-head series, the over is 4-1-1 and 7-2-1 in the last 9 in San Jose. Home team is trending head-to-head in this series. Home team's 4-1, but overall the favorite is 4-1, and Tampa's 5-1 in this series. So I'm on the over 6. Haven't pulled the trigger on Tampa in regulation yet, but I do like Tampa first period money line, or in regulation, I guess, plus 147. I think they come out pretty hot and fired up after getting embarrassed by a not great Anaheim team last night. So I am going to go back to the well. We'll see how that goes. Either I learned my lesson or I'm right. But I know Tampa's on the end of their road trip here in California, but I don't think they want to go home losing to the Ducks in San Jose. So I think Tampa comes out fired up. And with Elliott in net for Tampa tonight, I definitely think we could see some goals, but I think Tampa's offense wakes up tonight and puts a few in the net.
All right. Yeah, I actually like that Tampa first period. That makes a lot of sense that they're going to come out here pissed off from last night, and they're probably going to have some fire in their belly and probably give a pretty good performance, at least in the first period for sure. So, yeah, I definitely like that bet. That sports guy, Lightning Sharks, final game of the night. What are you thinking?
Yeah, this is where you kind of caught me. I haven't finished this game, but just looking at it, I would lean towards the Lightning coming off a loss here. Kind of a bad loss. I know it's the last game of this road trip here on the West Coast, but just coming off a loss without having to travel too far at all. I think I lean towards the Lightning. I think it's Elliott going in goal for them, obviously, with the back-to-back. I do lean towards the over as well. Tampa's gone over in 5 of their last 6. They got the ability to score on any team. And then with Elliott going in goal for them, he's definitely been a little shaky. Let's see if I can pull up his stats here quickly. Where did this go? 1 sec, sorry. Pull up on the road.
Elliott's his. I don't have the road stats.
2-2-1 with a 259 goals against and a 909 save percentage. So his numbers are all right, but he's definitely not what Vasilevsky is. They could play a little sloppy on the second night of the back-to-back here, but so I would lean over 6. That might be a play for me. I'll look into this game kind of when we jump off here.
All right, and that is the card. So. Best bets and best parlay piece. We'll get to that coming up here. When we finish off the stream, I'll finish off and I'll have the background with the record from last night, so everybody can see that. That's how we'll finish off the stream. My best bet is Minnesota in regulation. I think the Wild are going to come out strong tonight, and that is my best bet. My best parlay piece. So obviously, I'll remind the audience. Best bet has to be minus 150 or better. So a bet that most people would make. A best parlay piece can be any odds you want. It's basically something you throw into a parlay for a little bit extra money. But Nathan, for his best parlay piece, he chose a nice plus money bet and it cashed. So he is easily in first with the best parlay piece. So you can either go safe or go big. And Nathan went go big. I'm going to go Minnesota money line. So play it a little safe for the parlay piece. I want to keep my record undefeated. 2-0 yesterday for me. So Minnesota in regulation, my best bet, and my best parlay piece, Minnesota money line. Nathan, what do you got?
Oh man, can you hear me? I forgot which one I gave you at the beginning. I've kind of been having some.
For your best parlay piece, you gave Carolina to score in the first period.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's easy. They're gonna come out fired up. They've been scoring a lot of goals. I'm playing it safe today. Not too much thinking. Got a lot of action, ton of college basketball, NFL games, everything. So I'm just kind of playing it safe. I did like that last one though. I think there was four goals scored in that Pittsburgh game, which was the one I gave last time, and both teams scored twice, which was crazy. I really like that, and I actually loaded up big on my card with that. So my best parlay piece was the Hurricanes to score. I think what was my best bet? Was it the Avs first period reg?
You did not give one.
Okay, yeah, Avs 3-way first period. That's gonna be my best bet of the day. I think that is at minus 140 or minus 145. That's gonna be my best bet of the day. Avs come out hot at home and take care of business today from start to finish.
So Avs first period money line? Or sorry, Avs first period.
Three-way.
Avs in
minus.
regulation. Okay.
Yeah, in the first
First
period,
period,
minus
then.
145. That's going to be my best bet today.
All right. Money Mac, what do you think for best bet?
My best bet, I'm going to go with Calgary money line, minus 120. And then my parlay piece, I'm going to go Islanders, Toronto, over 5.5 at even money.
All right. And we have it scrolling there at the bottom. So I just need that sports guy. What are you thinking for best bet and best parlay piece?
Kind of torn here. Gonna take Nashville team total over 3.5 at plus 105, and I think the Wild race to 4. Not sure which one I want to make which. We'll go with the best bet, the Nashville team total. Or yeah, you know what? We'll go with the best bet, Nashville team total over 3.5 at plus 105, and then I guess the parlay piece. You know what? No, the parlay piece. I'll go Wild and Reg, minus 125.
All right, just let me type that in here. Best parlay piece, Wild and Reg. And sorry, what was your best bet again?
Preds team total over 3.5 plus 105.
All right. So that is now scrolling. Minnesota Reg, Minnesota money line for my parlay piece. Nathan, Avs first period in Reg. Best parlay piece, Carolina to score in the first period. Money Mac, best bet, Calgary money line. Best parlay piece, Toronto Islanders over 5.5. And that's sports guy, best bet, Nashville team total over 3.5. And best parlay piece, Wild and Reg. So that is the show. Thanks everybody for coming. Just let me put in the results here on the background. And there will be no show tomorrow. Sunday's my day off, but we'll be back at it on Monday for another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and friends. Good luck to everybody tonight, and let's make some money.
Awesome.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, thanks for
Have a good
hosting,
one.
Terry.
Thanks, Jerry.
Um,
Thanks for hosting.
thanks, guys.